wherever was on the running machines, and it had some adverts on that. So I tried advertising on that, and I got a bit of work through that. I thought, well, yeah, it's nice to get a bit of work, but the fees that they were charging, I thought, well, it's not really worth it, because I could spend less money and potentially get more work elsewhere. So, and then things like just simple things. If you put a sign in front of your project when it's being built, especially if it's on a main road, or even if it's on a quiet road, people will see your name and think, oh, that company is the architect for there. I like what they're doing, or I'm looking for one, and they're there. I'll give them a call. And so they're kind of, if they can see that somebody else has trusted you, because you're doing their extension or building a house or a commercial unit or whatever, they're going to phone you up and say, oh, I like what you've done, or my neighbours trusted you to do their extension. I want you to come and talk to me about my extension or project or whatever it is.
What are your most effective marketing channels right now to find and get new leads and inquiries? So you mentioned the site signs, you mentioned a little bit of advertising, you mentioned a web presence.
Yeah, I think there isn't one thing which always gets me work, or if I put more money into it. There's various things. So like I have a little postcard leaflet. So when I'm going to a site, or if I'm out and about, I'll walk up and down the street and put it through the letterboxes, and I get a bit of work through there. But the main one is, however, it's a website, and it seems where most of people do is Google. Architects in Leeds for myself, or architect in Yorkshire, which is the wider area which I am, and or a residential architect, and things like that. And the larger projects and the more significant ones have come through that, and then following an initial meeting, because most people will meet with more than one architect, especially when it's a personal kind of project, whether it's building a new house or an extension or their business. They want to work with a person that they can trust, and they can understand what they want. And so that first meeting is really key in setting a good impression of who you are and what you do, but also understanding them. And there's no point in kind of lying and saying, finding out if they're into kind of Formula One racing. So, oh yeah, I'm into Formula One racing, and you're not, and they start talking to you about it, because there's no point in trying to do that. People don't want to work with a salesman who'll say anything to get the job. They want to work with someone they trust and is honest. So you don't have to be exactly like them. You just have to understand how they live their life or how their business works, and so you can prove or show that you kind of can design it best for them in understanding their needs.
What do you do during that first meeting, the first time you meet face-to-face with a client? Or let's take it back a step. The phone call, what happens during the phone call, and then how does the process go from there?
Sure. Well, quite often I'll actually meet somebody, whether it's at a networking event, and I might not hear from them for 6 months or so, and then I'll get a call out of the blue, because I spent the time talking to them, and as I said previously, it's not just a case of a 2-minute, here's my name, this is what I do, and move on. It's spending the time to talk to them and developing that relationship, so they trust you and understand you. So if you've got that, they're more likely to invite you into their life and trust you with large sums of money. So if I get a phone call and I've not met them previously, I'll talk to them about the project on the phone, try and understand as much as I can, and then it's a case of, I'd like to come and meet you in person and talk about it in detail some more, and that's a complimentary service. I don't charge for that, and again, it's not a case of in and out in 5 minutes. I'll be there for as long as it needs for me to understand the project and understand it in detail and understand them and what their requirements are. And it's a case of, you ask about the project, but you ask about what their work job is, what their job is, what their hobbies are, and things like that. So if you can understand, if they say they need a space for a home office, somebody may just want a small desk in the corner, just enough to put a laptop on, and that's it. But if you spoke to them and they tell me, I work from home one day a week, and I have a lot of filing, and I need a lot of space to spread out and all this lot, you then understand that they need more than just a table in the corner. They need a proper designated room for that, so they can work from home. And it's about understanding the detail of what they're wanting and showing their kind of like, giving before you're not charging anything for this, but if you're giving all this knowledge and information and understanding for free, they're more likely to kind of trust you to do a good job and kind of want to kind of take you on throughout the whole project.
Do you have an idea about what the percentage of inquiries actually turn into real projects?